This is Dr. Beck from the Science Department at Totteridge Academy. Thank you for watching this video of how we are going to do our science homework this year. If you want to watch this at 1.5 times speed, just to speed things up, absolutely fine. Any parents, guardians, carers watching, thank you for taking an interest in your child's homework, and I hope this is going to be useful in supporting you with your students, your child's progress. So fundamentally, we set our homework through an app called Carousel Learning, and the child will get a link on their Show My Homework Satchel 1 app. The link will take them to their quiz, which they will then log on. Now, the old way is what I'm showing you here, where they're entering their name. The new way involves a Microsoft login. They should already have that, and they won't need to type their name in as I have just done. So that's slightly different from what I'm showing you. When they enter their homework, please ask them to check it's the correct homework. Now, at the moment, it's just a demo set of questions, but it would normally say the year group and set, science, or if it's GCSE, physics, chemistry, biology, and then the due date. Here, obviously, it's just X, X, Y, Y, Z, Z. So how do we complete the homework for science? First of all students should be taking their science books home. Please check that they have them, and of course, please check they're returning them for the next lesson with me. The first thing we should do is open to the back of our science books. This red line represents the margin of the back page, or the next page if they've already completed the back page. Simply, we start by writing the title of the homework. So here, I'm simply copying everything, including the X, X's, Y's, and Z's. Now, clearly, of course, as I've said, this will be different. It could be 7x1, science, due, 14/9/25, for example. What do? Well, we don't take the quiz straight away to begin with. We simply click on revise. Then we would be presented with some homework questions. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 questions, but that might be more depending on which set your child is in or which year group they are in. But it will be at least 5. So here we go with our first question. We need to remember the answer for this, usually based upon recent learning in class or previous learning from a previous term, or indeed a previous year. Question 1 then, what are the vertical columns on the periodic table called? Well, this is some chemistry, and I remember from year 8 that these are called the groups. So I'm going to check the answer to this. I've written the number 1 in the back of my book. I've written my answer. I'm now going to check my answer. Fabulous. So I've got that right. The answer is groups. So in the back of my book, I'm going to purple pen a tick. I'm not going to do anything else except for say that this answer is right. It's not wrong, it's not nearly right, it's just right. And that will give me the next question. Notice top left, I've learned 1 question, there's 1 on the board, and there's 3 coming up. This will be question 2, so I'll switch back to black pen. What 3 subatomic particles are atoms made of? Okay, I think I've forgotten some of this. I'm going to kind of guess here. Electrons, protons, nucleus. I think I spelled nucleus wrong. I'm going to change that. Nucleus. Okay, I'm not so confident about that one. Let's just double check. Show the answer. Yeah, I'm not right. This is a list with 3 things. Now, the order doesn't matter. 3 things in any order. Protons, neutrons, electrons. I check my answer. Yes, I've correctly written electrons and protons, but the nucleus is wrong. Now, I'm not going to correct my wrong answer. I'm simply going to put a cross next to it in the margin. I'm going to say, well, it's not right, but it's nearly right. Notice the number of learned questions is now not 2, it's still 1. It's gone back into the pack. So I now move on to the next question. That question I've just got wrong will come back again, and I've got to remember that answer next time. Question 3, How to represent light in a ray diagram? Well, it kind of looks like this. How can I describe this? Well, this is a straight line with an arrow. Okay, I'm going to double check that by showing the answer. Straight line with an arrow. Excellent. Now, my answer isn't exactly the same. I've missed out a couple of letters, but that's not a problem. The answer is a correct science answer. Good. I've learned that. That's right. Next, what is the function of the cell membrane? A bit of biology. Well, the cell membrane controls what enters and leaves a cell. Okay, that's a really important function. That's what it does. Let's check my answer. Yeah, okay, my answer is not exactly the same, but it's correct. To control what substances enter and leave the cell. Fine, that's okay. So 3 right so far. One on the screen and one I got wrong earlier. What gas is produced during photosynthesis? Okay, I know about photosynthesis. I know about plants and what they do. So number 5, gas produced, I'm going to write carbon dioxide. Okay, I know that's a gas. I know it's involved in photosynthesis. Ah, but it's not the gas that is produced. Give myself a cross. That is not right. It's not even nearly right. It's just wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to go back through. I've got 3 right and 2 wrong. So now I'm going to go back through the ones I got wrong. So I'm going to write number 6, not number 2. This is now number 6. So the 3 subatomic particles, protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay, I think I'm confident there, but let's just double check. There we go. In fact, I've got the right order as well. Fabulous. The order doesn't matter. What's correct is the 3 named. Here we go. Last one. That is right. What gas is produced during photosynthesis? Well, it isn't carbon dioxide. It is oxygen. I then finally show the answer. That is correct. And congratulations, I have now finished my homework. And that's it. Here is a simple demo. There's just 5 questions for your child. There might be 5, 10, 15, depending on what stage of learning they're in. But this is what we do. Your student, your child should then bring their book into the next science lesson with me, making sure they're bringing the correct book for the correct for the lesson with me. And there we go. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much indeed. And I hope this was very useful. And I wish you all the best. Bye bye.